Under the golden glow of the late afternoon sun, the gates of the sprawling estate shimmered like silent sentinels guarding a realm of unimaginable wealth. Yet, on this particular day, the man standing at those gates bore no resemblance to a billionaire. His faded navy uniform hung loosely over his slender frame. His cap sat low on his forehead, and his weathered hands gripped the cold iron bars as if they were the only thing holding him upright. To anyone passing by, he was simply another aging gatekeeper earning an honest day's wage. No one could have guessed that behind the deep lines carved into his dignified dark face was a man who owned more land than the eye could perceive, companies across half the world, and a heart that had been both blessed and broken by life's choices. This was Henry Aduel, and today, his mission was not about safeguarding the estate, but about securing his only son's future. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of seeing people for who they truly are, not for what they possess, take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Nest Corner. Together, we can spread stories that touch hearts and inspire change. Henry's plan had taken shape over several weeks, each day bringing him closer to the truth he needed to uncover. His son David was engaged to a stunning young woman named Naomi, whose beauty could illuminate a room, yet whose heart Henry had not yet seen. He had watched too many friends lose fortunes and themselves by trusting the wrong person with their lives. So he decided on an old but revealing test. He would disguise himself as a poor gatekeeper for a week, stationed right at the estate's entrance. Naomi would one day enter as his daughter-in-law. Only his most trusted assistant knew of this plan. To Naomi, he would be invisible unless her character proved otherwise. The first day passed quietly. Naomi arrived in a chauffeur-driven car, the sparkle of a diamond bracelet catching the sun as she stepped out, her perfume trailing behind her like an announcement of importance. Henry greeted her with a polite nod, but she didn't glance his way. Her phone was more important. Day after day, it became evident she hardly noticed him. He opened the gates for her each morning and closed them each evening. Rain or shine, without a single word from her lips. Henry wasn't seeking grand gestures, just a small act of kindness. But he found none. Then came the moment that would forever stay in his memory. Naomi had arrived earlier than usual, her red dress striking against the ivory walls of the estate. She seemed irritated, muttering under her breath as she approached the gates. Henry opened them, stepping slightly aside. Without warning, she stopped in front of him, holding a plastic bottle filled with dark, sticky liquid. With a smirk that didn't reach her eyes, she tipped it over his head. The cold drink soaked his cap, streamed down his face, and drenched his shirt in shame. She laughed, a sound sharp enough to pierce his heart, and walked away as if nothing had happened. Henry stood frozen. The uniform clung to his skin, and so did the humiliation. His mind drifted back to his late wife, who had always said, "You see, a person's soul is revealed in how they treat those who can give them nothing." In that moment, Henry understood that his son was on the brink of a future that could destroy him. But Henry was not quick to react. He wanted to be certain, to see if this cruelty was merely a passing moment or a true reflection of her character. Over the following days, he observed her from the shadows. She never apologized. She never offered him a kind word, even after that day. Instead, she grew more dismissive, more entitled. Henry's heart grew heavier, knowing that the confrontation ahead would deeply hurt his son. When the day of truth arrived, Henry shed the faded uniform and stepped into the tailored suit that once felt like a second skin. The gatekeeper was gone. The billionaire had returned. He summoned Naomi and David to the estate's grand hall, its marble floors shining under the light of chandeliers that had witnessed generations of family gatherings. David was confused, unaware of what was about to unfold. Naomi's eyes widened when Henry entered, no longer a hunched figure at the gates, but a man radiating quiet authority. With a calm voice and eyes that missed nothing, Henry recounted the story of his former self, the gatekeeper who had been invisible, unworthy of her attention, until he became the subject of ridicule. Naomi's face shifted from disbelief to panic, searching for words that wouldn't come. David's hand, once resting in hers, slowly pulled away. The silence in that hall was so profound it felt as if the walls themselves were listening. Naomi tried to explain her behavior as a joke or a bad day, but the damage was done. Henry didn't raise his voice or humiliate her further. He simply said that love without respect is like a castle built on sand. That day, the engagement ended, not with anger or rage, but with the quiet, unshakable truth of a test that had failed. David was heartbroken, but over time, he came to see his father's actions as an act of love, not interference. Months later, he met someone whose kindness shone even brighter than her smile, a woman who, upon meeting the estate's real gatekeeper, shook his hand and thanked him for his work. Henry watched them together one evening, their laughter echoing through the garden, and felt the heavy weight in his chest finally lift. If this story touched your heart, please share, and subscribe to Kenneth's Corner, so more people can witness the power of seeing beyond wealth and appearances. Before you go, I have a special request. Comment below with your thoughts on this story. Do you think Henry did the right thing? Your words matter more than you realize. Life often reveals the truth when least expected. Sometimes, the greatest tests aren't in boardrooms, battlefields, or classrooms, but in the quiet, seemingly ordinary moments that show who we truly are. Henry's story isn't just about wealth or deception. It's about values that would stand the test of time: kindness, respect, humility, and the courage to protect those we love from harm, even when it hurts. In a world where appearances can deceive, it's easy to judge someone by their clothes, the car they drive, or their title. But as Henry's disguise demonstrated, none of those things can hide or enhance the true nature of a person's heart. A kind soul will shine regardless of circumstances, and an unkind one will eventually reveal itself, even beneath the brightest disguise. Many of us may never need to pretend to be someone else to uncover the truth, but we all face moments when we decide who we will be for others. Will we be the person who looks away from someone struggling, or the one who offers a helping hand? Will we judge based on what we see, or will we take the time to understand what lies within? If Henry's journey has taught us anything, it is that love without kindness is hollow, and respect is the true foundation of any relationship worth keeping. Let this story serve as a reminder that small actions, a smile, a thank you, patience, can mean more than any grand display of wealth. If this message touched your heart, please share, and subscribe to Seeds of Rose. And in the comments, tell us, have you ever seen someone's true character revealed in an unexpected moment?